Ten little nigger boys going out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were nine little nigger boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were
eight little nigger boys traveling down to Devon. One got left behind, and then there are
seven little nigger boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in half, and then there were six little nigger boys playing with the hive. A bumblebee stung one, and then there were five
little nigger boys going in for law. One got in the high court, and then there are four little nigger boys sailing out to sea. A big fish swallowed one, and then there were three little nigger boys going to the zoo. A big bear hugged one, and then there were two little nigger boys sitting in the sun. One of them got burned away, and then there was one little nigger boy left all alone. He went and hung himself, and then there were none. And then there were none. 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 None.
The first group just arriving in Jim's boat. Another group is coming in the second boat.
Good evening, Fletch.
Good evening, Mrs. Rogers.
If that's the boat.
The first one. The second one won't be long.
Oh, they are already? Have you remembered everything?
I think so. Lemon, fish, cream, eggs, butter, tomatoes, that was all, wasn't it?
That's right.
Oh. Here is a ready-made curtain that you ordered from the town, from the shop in the town.
Yes. That's for the bathroom. Would you put it up, Mrs. Rogers?
Oh dear, so much to do. I don't know where to start with all these guests arriving today.
Calm down, Ethel. Everything's pretty well organized now. Looks nice, doesn't it, Fred?
Looks okay to me, rather bare, shabby, little damp.
That's because the house has been empty so long.
Rich people like things that way anyway, seems.
Rich people are strange.
He was rather a strange sort of gentleman who built this house. Spent a lot of money on it. He gets tired of it and put the whole thing for sale.
Yes, it surprises me. Why he always wanted to buy it and come and live on the island like this?
Oh, come off it, Ethel, and take all that stuff out into the kitchen. They'll be here any minute now.
Oh, that would be young Jim wanting to leave. I'd be getting along, or I missed the boat.
I shall want at least 5 loaves in the morning, and 8 pints of milk, remember?
Right. See you in the morning.
Fred, don't forget the oil for the electric generator. I'll have to charge it up tomorrow, or we'll have the lights going out.
Oil is waiting at the railway station now. I will bring it first thing in the morning.
And give a hand with the luggage, will you?
Right you are.
I forgot to give you the list of the guests, Tom.
Thanks, so to go. Doesn't look a very classy lot to me. Miss Clayton, she'll be the secretary.
I don't think much of secretaries. Secretaries are worse than hospital nurses, giving themselves airs and graces and looking down the service.
Oh, stop grumbling, Ethel, and get along that lovely, up-to-date kitchen of yours.
Too modern for me.
Now, here we are. Up.
What a time.
Give me your hand. Oh. So, this is it.
How perfectly lovely.
Miss Clayton?
Yes, you are, Roger.
That's right. Good evening, miss.
Could you bring up my luggage and Captain Lombard's?
Very good, miss.
You've been here before?
Oh, no, but I've heard a lot about the place.
From the owners? Mr. and Mrs. Owen?
No. Old Johnny Brewer, a friend of mine, built this place. It's a sad and moving story.
A love story?
Yes, the saddest of all. Johnny Brewer was a wealthy old fellow and fell in love with the famous actress Lily Logan.
Sounds most romantic.
Poor old Johnny, he thought by cutting her from the rest of the world, without even a telephone, he could keep her for himself.
But of course, the beautiful Lily got tired of the isolation and escaped.
That's it. So Johnny went back to the stock exchange in London, made a few more millions, and then the place was sold. It's been empty ever since.
And here we are. Well, I ought to go and look for Mrs. Owen.
Oh.
The others will be here in a
It
minute.
would be very rude of you to leave me here all by myself.
Would it? Well, I wonder where she is.
She'll appear soon enough. While we are waiting, do you think it will be all right for me to have a drink? I'm feeling very dry.
Of course it will be all right.
Certainly warm after that steep climb up the cliff path. What's yours?
No thanks, not for me, not while I'm on duty.
Oh, my good secretary is never off duty.
Really? This is exciting.
What?
All this. The smell of the sea, the seagulls, the beautiful blue down there, and this lovely house. I am going to enjoy myself.
Oh, I think you are. I think we both are. Yes to you. You are very lovely.
Ah, Rogers. Where is Mrs. Owen?
Mr. and Mrs. Owen won't be down from London until tomorrow, miss. I thought you knew already.
Tomorrow, but...
I've got a list here of the guests expected, miss, if you'd like to have it. The second boatload's just arriving.
Thank you. How difficult. I say, you will be sweet and help me, won't you?
I won't move from your side.
It seems silly to have brought only us two in the first boat and all the rest in the second.
That, I'm afraid, was design, not accident.
Design? What do you mean?
I suggested to the boatmen that there was no need to wait for any more passengers. That and a small tip. He soon started at the engine.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Well, they're not a very exciting lot, are they?
I thought the young man was rather nice looking.
That young man? Immature. Definitely immature. And very, very young.
I suppose you think a man in his 30s is more attractive.
I don't think, my darling. I know. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic place you've got here.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been delayed in London, I'm afraid, and won't be here until tomorrow.
Oh, too bad.
May I introduce Captain Lombard and Mr.
Marston, Anthony Marston. Have a drink. Oh, thank you. What will you have? Gin, whiskey, sherry? Whiskey, I think.
How are you? Davis is the name.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been delayed in London, I'm afraid, and won't be here until tomorrow.
Mary, how are you?
How are you? My name's Lombard. Have a drink, Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name.
Mr. Davis. Mr. Marston.
Mr. Maston. How are you, Mr. Maston? Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Lombard. I don't mind if I do. Quite a stiff climb up here. But my, what a view! What a height! Reminds me of South Africa, this place.
Does it? What part?
Oh, Cape Town, you know.
Really?
Well, here's the Temperance. Do you know South Africa?
Me? No.
That's where I come from, Cape Town, South Africa.
Interesting country, I think.
Finest country in the world, sir. Gold, diamonds, silver, oranges, everything a man could want.
How do you do?
General Mackenzie, isn't it? I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been delayed in London, I'm afraid, and won't be here until tomorrow. May I introduce Captain Lombard? Mr. Marston.
Davis. Davis is the name.
Whiskey and soda, sir.
Thanks. Are you in the army?
I was formerly in the Queen's African Rifles. Too quiet for me in peacetime, so I gave it up.
Pity.
Where's Mrs. Ogden? Miss Emily Blatt, isn't it? I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been delayed in London, I'm afraid, and
Won't be here until tomorrow.
Indeed, extraordinary. Did she miss a train? I expect so. Won't you have something? May I introduce Captain Lombard? Mr. Marston? General Mackenzie? I think you all met on the boat. And Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name. May I take a case?
Do let me give you a drink. A dry martini, whiskey and soda.
I never touch alcohol.
Oh, you never touch alcohol.
I suppose you know, young man, that you left us standing there on the quay, waiting for the second boat?
I'm afraid, Miss Brent, I was to blame for that.
Seems to me most extraordinary that Mrs. Ogden should not be here to receive her guests.
Perhaps she's the kind of person who just can't help missing trains.
That's what she is, a lady who always misses trains.
Not at all. Mrs. Ogden isn't in the least like that.
Perhaps it was her husband's fault.
She hasn't got a husband. I should like to go to my room.
Of course I'll take you.
You'll find Mrs. Rogers upstairs, miss. She'll show you the rooms. I'm afraid our host and hostess, Miss and Mrs. Owen, haven't arrived yet, sir. My name's Lombard.
Mine's Wargrave. How do you do?
How do you do?
How are you?
Have a drink, sir?
This piece of whiskey.
Davis. Davis is the name. I'd say, wonderful place they've got here. Quite unique.
As you say, quite unique. Japanese cabinet. Persian carpet. Indian table. Antiques, all of them.
Oh, your drink, sir? Has Roger Barkley arrived yet?
Who did you say?
Roger Barkley. He's the fellow who got me to come here. When's he coming?
I don't think he's coming. Nobody with the name of Barkley.
The dirty old traitor. He's let me down. He said he was coming too. Well, it's a pretty fantastic island. And that secretary is a fantastic girl, isn't she? She ought to liven things up a bit. Let's go and explore. Oh, fantastic.
Things are a bit confused with Owens not arriving yet.
Bit of a problem, eh? I say, fantastic place for holiday day.
Aren't you going to sit down?
Well, to tell you the truth, you seem to be sitting in my chair. I've never been here before, but you see, I spend most of my time at the Bantock Club in London, and my own special seat is just about there. I can't get used to sitting anywhere else.
It becomes a bit of a habit, I suppose.
Yes, it certainly does. Thank you. Well, it's not quite as comfortable as the one in the Bantock Club as it last year. To tell you the truth, I was a bit surprised when I got this invitation. I haven't had anything of the kind for well over 4 years. Very nice of them, I thought.
Is Lady Constance Culmington expected to arrive here, can you tell me?
Lady Constance Cummington? No, I don't think so, sir. Unless she's coming down with Mr. and Miss Owen.
Oh.
Dinner is at 8 o'clock, sir. Shall I show you to a room?
Please.
Here you are, sir.
Thank you.
I'll call Rogers.
Davis is the name.
Mine's Armstrong.
Dr. Armstrong, I believe.
Yes.
I thought so. I never forget the face.
Oh, don't tell me I've forgotten one of my patients.
No, nothing like that. But I once saw you in a police court giving expert evidence in a criminal case.
Oh, really? Are you interested in the law?
Oh, well, you see, I'm from South Africa. Naturally, criminal cases in this country are extremely interesting with a foreigner like me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Have a drink?
No, thanks. I never touch it.
Oh, do you mind if I do? Mind them?
No, not a bit. Go ahead.
I've just been having a look around the island. It's a wonderful place, isn't it?
Wonderful. Wonderfully restful, wonderful for the nerves. I'm a nerve specialist, you know?
Yes, I know that. Did you come down by train?
No, I came by car. I've left it over on the mainland. I dropped in on a patient of mine on the way down. Great improvement, making good progress.
It's about 200 miles from London, isn't it? How long did it take you?
I didn't hurry. I never hurry. Bad for the nerves. Some manless young fellow in a sports car nearly drove me into the ditch near Amesbury. Shot past about 100 miles an hour. Disgraceful driving. I'd like to have taken the number of his car.
Yes, it'd be a good thing if more people took numbers of these speed maniacs.
Yes, you must excuse me. I must have a word with Mr. Owen.
Oh, but Mr. Owen isn't coming today.
You rang, sir?
Yes, sir. Take my cap with you. What time is supper?
Dinner is at 8 o'clock, sir, in a quarter of an hour.
Got a good job here?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Have you been here long?
Just under a week, sir.
Is that all? So I don't suppose you know much about these people here.
No, sir.
Are they all friendly or in family?
I really couldn't say, sir.
By the way, where's my room?
I'll show you, sir.
Good. I could do with wash and brush up before dinner.
To help clear up these dirty glasses. You're always leaving the dirty work to me. Here I am, busy with a 4-course dinner and no one to help me. You might come and give me a hand with the serving. Who is that you're talking to, by the way?
Davis, the gentleman from South Africa.
I don't like him. I don't like any of them much. They're not like wealthy guests, are they? They're more like those cheap people we used to have in the boarding house where we were before.
Davis says he's a millionaire or something, but he doesn't look like one.
Well, as I said, all these visitors are arriving today, and Mr. and Mrs. Owen not coming to you tomorrow. What do they think we are, slaves?
Now then. Anyway, the money's...
So they ought to be. They ought to pay us double working in the place like this. All these guests. I have a good mind. Put my hat in the coat and walk right out now and go straight back to the...
You can't do that, old girl.
Yes, I can't. Why not? I should like to know.
Because we are on an island, old girl. Had you forgotten that?
Yes. I don't think I like being on an island like this.
No, I don't either. We can't slip down to the pub for a quick pint, and we can't pop off to the cinema. Nothing like that in a lonely place like this. Oh well, the salary's good, and there's plenty of beer in the house.
That you or ever think about beer.
Now, stop your nagging. You get back to your kitchen, or the dinner will be all to be spoiled.
It will be spoiled anyway, I expect. Everybody's going to be late. It's worth it on a cheap lot of people like this anyway. What do you mean? I mean it to me. It's just a matter of getting it onto the table. Is everything all right, Rogers? Can you manage between the two of you?
Yes, thank you, miss. My old woman talks a lot, but she gets things done.
What a lovely evening. Yes, indeed. The weather seems very settled. How clearly one can hear the sea. A pleasant sound, not a breath of wind, and deliciously warm. Not like England at all. What lovely grey knitting wool. I should have thought you might feel a little uncomfortable in that dress. Oh, no. It's rather tight, isn't it? Oh, no, I don't think so. It's not good for secretary to appear flashy. It looks as though you are trying to attract the attention of the opposite sex. And would you say I do attract them? That's besides the point. A girl who deliberately tries to get the attention of men won't be able to keep her job long. Aren't you being a little unkind? Young people nowadays behave in the most disgusting fashion. Disgusting? Yes. Low-backed evening dresses, lying half-naked on the beach, all this so-called sunbathing. It's too familiarity, too much drinking. And look at that young man nowadays, decadent, useless. Look at that Captain Lombard. What's wrong with Captain Lombard? I should say he was a man who'd had a very varied and interesting life. That man's just an adventurer. All this younger generation is no good. No good at all.
You don't like young people, I see.
And is there any reason why I should?
Oh no, but it seems you must miss a lot of fun.
You are very ill-mannered.
I'm sorry, but that's just what I think.
The world will never improve until we stop our immodesty. What a dragon! What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
What about that old judge? Oh, he is a judge, isn't he?
He looks rather like a turtle, don't you think?
All judges look like turtles. They have that evil way of pushing their heads in and out. Mr. Justice Mulgrave is no exception.
I didn't realize he was a judge.
Oh yes. He's probably been responsible for giving more innocent people a death sentence than any other judge in England. Oh, hello you! Do you two know each other? Dr. Armstrong, Miss Clayton.
Oh, Sir Lawrence.
Miss Brent, isn't it?
There's something I wanted to ask you. Would you mind coming out here?
A remarkably fine night.
Yes, it's an absolutely fantastic car. A supercharged E-Type Jaguar. You don't see many of them on the road. I can do over 100 miles an hour.
What a great...
Fantastic. Cook. Yes. 208 miles. I did it in just under 3 hours.
Oh.
Fantastic. But there are too many cars on the road these days. But
I think you overtook me on the road.
oh yes?
You nearly made me drive into the ditch.
Did I? Sorry.
If I got your number, I'd have you reported you to the police.
But you're creeping along like a snail right in the middle of the road.
Me? Creeping along like a snail?
Oh, well, what about a drink? Oh, good idea. Do you have a Miss Clayton?
No, thank you.
Good evening, Mrs. Owen.
Mrs. Owen? Me? Why Mrs. Owen?
You'd make the most attractive wife for any wealthy businessman.
Do you always flirt so outrageously?
Always.
Now we know.
Tell me, what's old Miss Brent talking to the judge about? She tried to talk to me upstairs.
I don't know. Funny. She seemed so definite that there wasn't a Mr. Owen.
The owner of this house? You don't think that Mrs. Owen, I mean, there isn't.
What?
They are...
Not married, you mean?
It's a damn shame we didn't know each other. I could have given you a tip down here in my E-Type Jag.
That would have been wonderful.
I'd like to show you what I can do on the expressway. I tell you what, or maybe we can drive back together.
Sorry, Marston, that Miss Clayton's made all her arrangements for going back to London.
But
But it's damn silly, I've got an empty
Yes,
car.
but she prefers to go back the way
Look.
she's decided.
aren't they sweet? These 10 little niggers. Oh, there's the old nursery rhyme.
What are you talking about? What nursery rhyme?
10 little nigger boys going out to dine. One choked his little self and then there were 9. 9 little nigger boys sat up very late. One overslept himself and then there were 8.
8 little nigger boys traveling down to Devon. One got left behind and then there were 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, silence, please. You are all charged with these crimes that you did respectively and at various times commit the following murders. George Armstrong, that you did cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese. William Henry Law, that you brought about the death of James Stephen Landor. Emily Caroline Brent, that you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor, Vera Elizabeth Clayton, that you killed Peter Ogilvy Hamilton, Philip Lombard, that you are guilty of the death of 21 men, members of an East African tribe, John Gordon Mackenzie, that you sent your wife's lover, Arthur Richmond, to his death. Anthony James Marston, that you are guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Coombs, Thomas Rogers, and Ethel Rogers, that you brought about the death of your employer, Jennifer Brady, Lawrence John Wargrave, that you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seaton. Prisoners in the court, have you anything to say in your defense?
What's that? It's nothing much. She's fainted, that's all. She'll be all right in a minute. Get some brandy.
Rogers, get some brandy.
What's that speaking?
What's going on here? What kind of practical joke was that?
Where the devil did that voice come from? Yes, here we are.
You are all charged.
Disgraceful and heartless practical joke.
So, you think it's a joke, do you?
Else could it be?
At the moment, I'm not prepared to give an opinion. Who the devil turned it and all? Who set it going? We must inquire into that.
Oh, dear me. Oh.
Allow me, miss. Allow me, sir, if I speak to her. Ethel. Ethel. It's all right. All right. Do you hear? Pull yourself together. Okay, you'll be all right, Mrs. Rogers. Just a nasty turn.
Did I faint, sir?
Yes.
It was that voice. That awful voice. Like judgment.
Well, a brandy.
Oh, here it is.
Drink this, Mrs. Rogers.
I'm all right now. It just gave me a turn.
Oh, of course it did. It gave me a turn, too. Wicked lies it was. I'd like to know
Who was it switched on this tape recorder? Was it you, Rogers?
I was just obeying orders.
Whose orders?
Mr. Owen's orders.
Let me get this quite clear. What exactly were Mr. Owen's orders?
I was to switch on the tape recorder in the study. The tape was already in the tape recorder. I thought it was just to give you all some music.
A very remarkable story.
It's the truth, sir. Before heaven, it's the truth. I didn't know what it was, not for a moment. It had a name on it. I thought it was just a piece of music.
Is there a title?
Title?
Yes, it's entitled 10 Little Niggers.
The whole thing is preposterous. Preposterous. Making accusations like this. Something must be done about it. This fellow Owen, whoever he is.
That's just it. Who is he? Who is Mr. Owen?
That is exactly what we must go into very carefully. I should suggest you let your wife go to bed, Rogers, then come back here.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a hand.
be all right, Doctor.
Yes, quite all right.
I don't know about you, sir, but I feel I need another drink.
I agree.
Okay, I'll get them.
Preposterous. That's what it is. Preposterous.
A whiskey for you, Sir Lawrence. And General Mackenzie.
I should like a glass of water, please.
Yes, I'll get it. I'll have a little whiskey too.
Here you are.
She'll be all right in a minute. I've given her a sedative.
Now then, Doctor, you want out? Drink after this.
No, thanks. I never touch it.
Oh, so you said. Want a bit more, General?
Now then, Rogers, we must get to the bottom of this. Tell us what you know about Mr. Owen.
He owns this place, sir.
I am aware of that fact. What I want you to tell me is what you yourself know about the man.
I can't say, sir. You see, I've never met him.
What do you mean? You've never met him?
We've only been here just under a week, sir, my wife and I. We were engaged by a letter through an employment agency, the Regina Employment Agency in Plymouth.
That's a well-known agency. You can check up on that.
Have you got the letter?
The letter engaging us? Yes, sir. Here it is.
Go on with your story.
We arrived here, like the letter said, on the 4th. Everything was in order. Plenty of food in the house and everything very nice. It just needed dusting a bit.
What next?
Nothing, sir. That is, we got orders to prepare the rooms for the house party, 8 people. Then yesterday, by the Morning Post, I got another letter saying that Mr. and Mrs. Owen might be delayed, and if so, we were to do the best we could. And the letter gave instructions about serving dinner and putting on the tape recorder. Here's the second letter, sir.
It's from the Ritz Hotel, London, and typewritten.
Coronation typewriter, Mark V. Quite new. Ordinary typing paper. We shan't get much out of that. We might try it for fingerprints, but it's be handled too much.
You sound just like a detective.
Oh, he's got some fantastic first names, hasn't he? Ulrich Norman Owen. Ulrich, very strange.
Thank you, Mr. Marston. That's a very interesting remark. I think the time has come for us all to exchange information. It would be well for everybody to tell us everything they know about Mr. Owen. We are all his guests. It would be useful to know how you were invited here.
There's something very peculiar about all this. I received a letter with a signature that was not very easy to read. It seems to be from a woman I met in Brighton 2 or 3 years ago. I took the name to be Ogden. That's why I asked for Mrs. Ogden earlier this evening. I'm quite certain I have never met or become friendly with anyone of the name of Owen.
Have you got that letter, Miss Brent?
Yes. I will fetch it for you.
Miss Claythorne.
I never actually met Mrs. Owen. I wanted a holiday job and applied to a secretarial agency, Miss Grenfell's agency in London. I was offered this position and accepted it.
And were you never interviewed by Mrs. Owen?
No. This is the letter.
Nigger Island, Sticklehaven, Devon. That's this address. I have received your name from Miss Grenfell's agency. I understand she knows you personally. I shall be glad to pay you the salary you ask for and shall expect you to take up your duties on August the 8th. The train is 12:40 from Paddington, London, and you will be met at Oakbridge Station, which is the nearest to Sticklehaven. I enclose £20 for expenses. Yours truly, Una Nancy Owen.
Una Nancy Owen. Fantastic.
Mr. Marston.
I don't actually know the Owens. I got a telegram from the Owen. I got a telegram from the Roger Buckley, friend of mine. He told me to drive down here. It surprised me a bit because he had gone to Norway or somewhere. I got a telegram. I haven't kept the telegram, I'm afraid.
Thank you. Dr. Armstrong.
In the circumstances, I think I may admit that my visit here was professional. Mr. Owen wrote to me that he was worried about his wife's health, her nerves. He wanted a medical report of her condition without her being alarmed, and he suggested that my visit should be regarded as that of an ordinary guest.
So, you never knew the Owen family before that?
No.
But you had no hesitation in accepting his request?
The letter mentioned a colleague of mine, another nerve specialist, and a very generous fee was offered. I needed a holiday anyway.
Dear Miss Brent, I do hope you remember me. We were together at Belhaven Guest House in Brighton in August some years ago, and we seem to have so much in common. I am starting a guest house of my own on an island off the coast of Devon, with good plain English cooking and a nice old-fashioned atmosphere. None of this nudity and loud music half the night. I should be very glad if you would come and spend your summer holiday on Nigger Island, as my guest, of course. I suggest August the 8th, 12:40 from Paddington to Oakbridge. Yours sincerely, U.N. Yes, the signature is rather vague. Not clear at all, in fact.
I like that bit about nudity.
Here is my own invitation letter from an old friend of mine, Lady Constance Culmington. She writes in her usual vague, incoherent way, urges me to join her here, and refers very vaguely to her host and hostess. General Mackenzie?
I got a letter from this fellow Owen. I thought I must have met him at my London club sometime or another. He mentioned some old friends of mine who were to be here and asked me to come along. I haven't kept a letter, I'm afraid.
And you, Captain Lombard?
Oh, very much the same sort of thing. I got an invitation mentioning some mutual friends. I haven't kept a letter either.
Just now, we all had a most disturbing experience. A strange voice spoke to us all by name, uttering certain definite accusations against us. We will deal with those accusations in a moment. Before that, there's another point I wanted to discuss. Among all the names mentioned was the name of William Henry Blore. But as far as we know, there's no one named Blore among us here. The name of Davis, your name, was not mentioned. What have you to say about that, Mr. Davis?
Secret's out, it seems. I suppose I'd better admit that my name isn't Davis.
You are William Henry Blore?
That's right. My real name is Blore.
I'll add something to that. Not only are you here under a false name, Mr. Blore, but you are also a first-class liar. You said you come from Cape Town in South Africa. I know South Africa and Cape Town well. And I am absolutely sure that you have never been there in your life.
All right. I'd better tell you. I'm an ex-policeman.
Policeman?
An ex-policeman. I've got my official card, and I can prove it. I now manage a private detective agency in Plymouth. I was employed professionally, asked to come here officially on the job.
By whom?
Why, Mr. Owen, of course. He sent a very nice check for expenses. I said I was to join the house party, pretending to be a guest. He also sent a list of all your names and said I was to keep an eye on you all.
Any reason given?
Mr. Owen said in his letter, Mrs. Owen has some very valuable jewels here. Mrs. Owen, my foot, I don't believe there is such a person.
Your conclusions are, I think, justified. Ulick Norman Owen. Una Nancy Owen. Both names are the same. U-N Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of imagination, U-N known. Unknown.
No! But it's unbelievable! Mad!
Mad, yes. I have no doubt in my mind that we have all been invited here by a madman. Quite probably a dangerous homicidal lunatic. In plain language, a murderer.
Oh my God!
Whoever it is who has invited us here, that person has taken a great deal of trouble to find out a great deal about us. A very great deal. And using his information about us, he has made some very definite accusations.
Accusations? Well, sweet accusations? Anything more? What which I ever heard? I didn't do that. I didn't. None of us.
I wish to say this. Our unknown friend accuses me of the murder of one Edward Seaton. I remember Seaton perfectly well. He came up before me in trial in June 1975. He was charged with the murder of an elderly woman. He presented a very good defense and made a good impression on the jury. Nevertheless, on the evidence, he was certainly guilty. I summed up accordingly. In giving Seaton the death sentence, I fully agreed with the verdict of the jury. Soon after, Seaton was executed. I wish to say before you all that my conscience is perfectly clear on the matter. I did my duty as a judge, and nothing more. I gave the death sentence to a rightly convicted murderer.
Did you know Seaton at all? I mean, personally?
I knew nothing of Seaton previous to the trial.
Old man's lying. I swear he's lying.
That fellow's a madman, absolute madman. It's better to leave these accusations unanswered. However, I feel I ought to say that there's no truth whatever about what he said about young Arthur Richmond. Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him out on an operation behind enemy lines during the last war. He was killed. I very much resent what that voice said about my wife. She never had a lover. She's been dead a long time now, my wife. The best woman in the world.
I've just been thinking about what I was accused of. John and Lucy Coombs. Yes. It must have been those two little children I ran over near Cambridge last year. My first car accident. Terrible bad luck.
Bad luck for them, or for you?
Well, for me and them, of course. It was a pure accident, you know. They rushed out into the middle of the road. It was impossible to stop in time.
This speeding on the road, it's all wrong!
Right.
Young man like this, danger to the community!
It was just an accident.
Might I just say a word, sir? Go ahead, Rogers. That voice mentioned me, sir, and Mrs. Rogers, and old Miss Jennifer Brady. And there isn't a word of truth in it. We were with Miss Brady when she died. She was always in poor health, sir. Always. From the time when we first started working for her. There was a storm, sir, the night she died. The telephone was out of order. We couldn't call the doctor in time. I went out to fetch him on foot, but we got back too late. We've done everything we could for her, sir. We were devoted to her. Nobody ever said a word against us.
She left you a nice bit of money, I suppose, didn't she?
Miss Brady left us a fairly large sum of money in recognition of her faithful services. And why not, I'd like to know.
Flo, what about yourself, Flo?
What about me?
Your name was mentioned, too.
I know. You mean about James Lando, the prisoner? He was involved with the London commercial bank robbery.
I remember the case, although I was not the judge on that occasion. Landor was imprisoned on your evidence. You were the police officer in charge of the case, I believe.
I was, my lord.
Landor got a life sentence and was sent to Dartmoor prison. And he died in prison a year later. He suffered from poor health.
She was a hardened criminal. She clubbed the night watchman over the head. It was clear that she's guilty from the beginning.
You were commended, I believe, for your efficient handling of the case.
Yes, sir. And I was promoted. I was only doing my duty.
Convenient word. Duty.
What about you, Doctor?
I am at a loss to understand the matter. The name of the person I was accused of killing means nothing to me. What was it? Close? Cleese? I really can't remember having a patient of that name or being connected with a death in that way. It's a complete mystery to me. Of course, it's a long time ago. It might possibly have been one of my operation cases. When the patient dies, it's always the doctor's fault.
Sometimes when such things happen, the doctor gives up drinking.
How dare you! I never touch alcohol!
My dear fellow, I never said you did. Anyway, this Mr. Unknown Nguyen is the only one who seems to know all the facts.
Miss Claythorne?
I was a nursery governess to a small boy, Peter Hamilton. We were at the seaside for the summer 2 years ago. Peter was not allowed to swim out far into deep water. When I was busy with something, he went out swimming by himself.
Maybe he drowned.
Yeah.
Yes, well, there was an inquiry afterwards?
Yes. I was not blamed for Peter's death. No one blamed me.
Thank you. Miss Brent?
I have nothing to say.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You reserve your defense?
There is no question of defense. I have always acted according to my conscience.
What a law-abiding lot of people we seem to be, except myself.
We are waiting for your story.
I haven't got a story.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you all. I plead guilty. It's not actually true what I am accused of. I left those 21 African natives in the jungle. It was a matter of self-preservation.
You abandoned your men?
Not a quite proper behavior for a British soldier, I'm afraid. But after all, self-preservation is a man's first duty. The African natives don't mind dying, you know. They don't feel the same about death as European people.
Our inquiry rests here. Now, Rogers, who else is there on this island besides ourselves and you and your wife?
Nobody, sir. Nobody at all.
Are you sure of that?
Quite sure, sir. Only the 10 of us.
Thank you. Don't go, Rogers. I do not yet understand the purpose of our unknown host in getting us to assemble here. But in my opinion, he is not a sane man. He may be dangerous. It would be well for us to leave this place as soon as possible. I suggest that we leave tonight.
That's right. Excuse me, sir, but there's no boat on the island.
No boat on the island?
No, sir. No, sir.
Then we'd better telephone to the mainland.
There's no telephones.
Why?
Fred Narracott, the odd job man who comes out here by boat every morning, sir. He brings the milk and bread and post and newspapers and takes the shopping orders.
Then I suggest that we leave in the morning, as soon as Narracott's boat arrives.
The best thing, but it's disappointing, isn't it? It's a pity we can't solve this mystery before we leave. The whole thing's like a detective story. Really fantastic.
At my age, I have no desire for this kind of excitement.
It's a narrow life in low cost, isn't it? I'm all for crime. Most enjoyable. Here's to crime.
God, he's dead! I'm dead? Do you mean the fellow just took a drink, choked, and died? Yes. Choking fit. He died of suffocation. Never knew a man could die just like that.
In the midst of life, we are in death.
A man doesn't die of a mere choking fit, General Mackenzie. Marston's death isn't what we call natural death.
Was there something in the whiskey? Poison?
Yes, by the smell of it. Cyanide. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts instantaneously.
He must have put the stuff in the glass himself.
Seems like it's suicide, eh?
You'd never think he would commit suicide. He was so alive. He was enjoying himself. Oh. Here's one of those little niggers. It's broken.
We'll be right up to the top of the island. No sign of that boat yet.
It's very early still.
That's true. Still that fellow now gets bring the milk and the bread, doesn't he? No sign of breakfast yet?
Oh, never mind about breakfast.
What's the weather look like?
The wind has freshened up a bit. Rather cloudy sky. An old miner train yesterday said we were due for bad weather. Perhaps we are going to have a storm.
I wish that boat would come. The sooner we get off this island, the better. It's absurd not keeping a boat on the island.
There isn't a proper harbor here. That's why. If the wind blows up from the southeast, a boat would get smashed up on the rocks down there.
But a boat would be always get here from the mainland, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't be able to get here if the wind gets too strong.
Do you mean we should be cut off from the mainland then?
Yes. We'd be cut off till the weather calmed down. We'd have to eat nothing but tinned food till the storm had blown itself out. But you needn't worry. The sea's only a bit rough at the moment.
I think the pleasures of living on an island are rather overrated.
I wonder if that boat is coming. It's annoying not being able to see the mainland from this island. We can't see close unless we climb up to the top. Shall we go up there again?
Oh, it's no good, Doctor. A watched pot never boils. There was no sign of a boat when we were up there just now.
What on earth can that fellow know to be doing?
Everybody has like that in them. Nobody ever hurries.
And where's Rogers? He ought to be up and above by now.
Mr. Rogers was pretty badly shocked last night.
That's what I thought. Ghastly, the whole business.
He looked really frightened. I wouldn't be surprised if he and his wife really did murder that old lady.
You really think so?
Well, I've never seen a man look more terrified. Guilty as hell, I should say.
Fantastic. The whole thing, fantastic.
Do you suppose he's escaped?
Rogers? But how could he? There's no boat on the island. You've just said so.
Yes, but I've been thinking. We've only got Rogers' word for that. Suppose there is a boat somewhere. He went off in it first thing this morning.
Oh, no! He wouldn't be allowed to leave the island.
Did you sleep well, General? Are you all right?
I dreamed. Yes, I dreamed.
That doesn't surprise me.
I dreamed of Leslie, my wife, you know.
Oh, yes. I wish Narocott would come.
Who is Narocott?
Narocott? He's one of the fellows who brought us over in the boat yesterday afternoon.
Was it only yesterday?
Yes. I feel like that too. Insane tape recorder, suicide. It's as much as a man can stand. I can't be sorry to leave the island, I can tell you.
So you don't understand. How strange.
What's that, General?
I don't like the look of him.
I should think young Marston's suicide must have been a pretty bad shock to him. He looks years older.
Where is that poor fellow now?
Marston, we moved his body into the study.
Dr. Armstrong, I suppose it was a suicide.
What else could it be?
I don't know, but...
Would it have been possible for anyone to have put something into Marston's drink without us seeing him?
Well, his glass was over there. Anyone could have sipped a bit of cider into it.
That would have been...
there you are, sir. I've been looking for you everywhere. Could you come up and have a look at my wife, sir?
Yes, of course. Is she feeling under the weather still? You won't leave the island without me, will you?
I do wish that boat would come. I hate this place.
Yes, I think the sooner we can get in touch with the police, the better.
The police?
The police have to be informed in a case of suicide, you know, Miss Claythorne.
Oh, yes, of course.
I wonder if we're ever going to get any breakfast.
Are you hungry, General? Do you feel like any breakfast?
Leslie, my dear.
Oh, no, I'm not Leslie. I'm Vera Clayton.
Of course. Forgive me. I thought you were my wife.
Oh, no.
I am waiting for her, you see.
But I thought your wife was dead long ago.
Yes, I thought so too. But I was wrong. She's here, on this island.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain Lombard.
Good morning. I seem to have overslept. Is the boat here yet?
No.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
Yes.
Ah, good morning. If I'd got up earlier, we could have a swim before breakfast.
But you overslept.
You must have good nerves to be able to sleep like that.
Nothing makes me lose my sleep.
You didn't dream of African natives by any chance, did you?
No. Did you dream of criminals dying in Dartmoor prison?
I don't think that's funny, Captain Lombard.
Well, you started it. I'm hungry. What about breakfast?
The domestic staff seems to be on strike.
Oh, well, we can always find something for ourselves.
Hello? That's strange.
What is?
You remember we found one of these little niggers smashed last night?
Yes, that ought to leave 9.
That ought to leave 9. I'm sure there were 10 when we arrived here yesterday.
Well,
it's only 8 now.
So there are.
It's strange, isn't it?
Probably there were only 9 to begin with. We assumed there were 10 because of the rhyme. Hello, what's Armstrong? What's the matter?
Mrs. Rogers is dead.
How?
Roger thought she was still under the influence of the sleeping drug I gave her last night. He came down this morning without her waking her up. He lit the kitchen fire and tidied up this room. And went up, was alarmed by the look of her and came to look for me. She's been dead for about 5 hours, I should say.
What was it?
Heart attack? Impossible to say. It might have been.
She had a pretty bad shock last night.
She might have been poisoned, I suppose, Doctor.
It is perfectly possible.
With the same stuff as young Marston?
No, not cyanide. It would have been a drug of some kind. An overdose of sleeping pills, something like that.
You gave her some sleeping pills last night, didn't you, Doctor?
I gave her a mild dose of luminol, a very common sleeping drug.
Didn't give her too much this year?
Certainly not. What do you mean?
All right. No offense. I just thought if she had a weak heart.
The amount I gave her couldn't have hurt anyone.
She was a very nervous-looking woman. Perhaps it was a heart failure.
Conscience!
What exactly do you mean by that, Miss Brent?
You all had that tape. She was accused, together with her husband, of having deliberately murdered her former employer, an old lady.
Do you believe that's true, Miss Brent?
I certainly do. You all saw her last night. She broke down completely and fainted. The shock of having been publicly accused was too much for her. She literally died of fear.
It is a possible theory.
If you prefer, call it an act of God.
Oh no, Miss Brent.
Do you think impossible that a sinner should be struck down by the anger of God? I do not!
Let's be practical. What did Mrs. Rogers have to eat and drink?
After she went to bed? Nothing.
Nothing? Not even a cup of tea?
Rogers tells me she had nothing whatever.
That's what he says.
What's your idea, Flo?
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think Rogers and his wife did murder that old lady. They've been feeling quite safe and happy about it. Then last night, they heard that accusation. Mrs. Rogers faints and is so nervous that Rogers thinks she'll confess the crime. So what does he do? He gives her a nice cup of tea with some poison in it. Then he washes the cup and saucer and tells doctor she didn't eat and drink anything.
You mean Rogers killed his wife to keep her quiet? Oh no, it's impossible. A man wouldn't do that, not to his wife.
You'd be surprised, Miss Clayton, what some husband would do to keep things quiet.
Excuse me, miss. I'm getting on with the breakfast. I'm not much good at cooking, I'm afraid, but I'll do my best. I'm worrying about lunch. Would something very simple be all right?
That would be fine, Rogers.
Lunch? We want to be here for lunch! Where the hell is the boat coming?
Excuse me, sir, but I don't think the boat will be coming.
What?
If Fred Narragatt isn't here by 8 o'clock, it means he won't be coming. That's what he said. Is there anything else you require?
No, thank you.
What do you think of that? His wife lying dead upstairs, and now he's cooking breakfast and calmly talking about lunch. And then he says the boat won't be coming. How the hell does he know?
Oh, don't you see? He's just carrying on automatically as a good servant would. It's pathetic.
I don't believe it. He's just acting, if you ask me.
The important thing is this. The boat has failed to arrive. That means we're cut off from the mainland.
There's very little time. Very little time.
Doctor?
Very little time. We mustn't waste time talking about things that don't matter.
Why do you think Narragatt hasn't arrived?
I think that Mr. Owen, our host, has ordered him not to come.
You mean it's a kind of practical joke?
Oh, can't we do something?
Yes, we can do something. We can find a strange gentleman who has staged this practical joke or whatever it is, Mr. Unknown Owen. I'm quite sure he's somewhere on this island. The sooner we find him and stop all this nonsense, the better, because in my opinion, he's quite mad.
And dangerous. He gives us no warning.
Warning. Warning. By God, yes! That's our warning! 10 little nigger boys! After Narragatt left yesterday, there were just 10 of us here, weren't there? 10 little nigger boys going out to dine,
One choked his little self. Marston choked himself, didn't he? And then Mrs. Rogers, who died in her sleep. 9 little nigger boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8. Overslept himself. That part fits Mrs. Rogers rather well, doesn't it?
You mean he wants to kill us all, one by one?
Yes, I think he does.
And each one fits with a rhyme.
No, it's impossible! It's a coincidence! It must be a coincidence!
8 little nigger boys there now. I suppose that's coincidence too. What do you think, Lord?
I don't like it.
There's nobody else on the island except us!
I'm not so sure of that.
This is terrible!
None of us will ever leave this island!
Can somebody keep that old man quiet?
Don't you agree with me, Sir Lawrence?
Up to a point. Yes.
Then the sooner we get to work, the better. Come on, Armstrong. And you, Blow. We'll make short work of this.
I'm ready. I suppose nobody's got such a thing as a gun by any chance.
I've got one.
Do you always carry that about with you?
Usually. I've been in some rather dangerous places, you know.
Well, you've never probably in a more dangerous place than you are today. If there's a lunatic murderer hiding somewhere on this island, he's likely to be violent.
Oh, you may be wrong there, Law. Many murderers are very quiet people.
Delightful fellows, some of them.
You'll never guess there was anything wrong with them.
If Mr. Owen turns out to be someone like that, we leave him to you, Doctor. Now, let's make a start. I suggest Captain Lombard searches the house while we do the island.
Right. It ought to be easy. I don't think this house has got any secret panels or sliding doors.
Be careful. He doesn't get you before you get him.
Don't worry. But you two had better keep together. Remember the rhyme. One got left behind.
Come on, Armstrong.
A very energetic young man, Captain Lombard.
Don't you think he's right? If someone is hiding on the island, they'll be sure to find him. It's quite bare, no trees, nowhere to hide.
I think this problem needs brain to solve it, rather than brute strength.
Where are you going?
I'm going to sit in the sun and think, my dear young lady.
Where did I put my grey knitting wool?
Isn't that it over there?
No, that's my blue wool. I'm looking for my grey wool.
Did you leave it upstairs? Shall I go up for you and see?
No, I'll go. I know where it's likely to be.
I'm glad Captain Lombard has got that gun.
They are all wasting time. Wasting time!
Do you think so?
Yes. It's much better to sit quietly and wait.
Wait for what?
Wait for the end, of course. I wish I could find Leslie.
Your wife?
Yes. She was so pretty, so full of joy.
Was she?
I loved her very much. Of course, I was a lot older than she was. She was only 27. Arthur Richmond was 26. He was my house officer. Leslie liked him. They used to talk about music and books together. They laughed a lot. I was glad. I thought she took a motherly interest in the young man. I was a damn fool, wasn't I? An old fool! Then I found out. I was in France at the time. She wrote letters to both of us, but she put them in the long envelopes. So it was true. They were lovers.
Oh, no.
It's all right, my dear. It was a long time ago. But you see, I loved her very much. I trusted her completely. I trusted him, too. I didn't say anything to him. I kept my feelings inside. And I let it all gather into a murderous rage.
I wonder what the others are doing.
Then I sent him behind the enemy lines. I sent him to his death. Yes, it was quite easy. Leslie never knew. I never told her I'd found out. We went on as usual. But somehow, nothing was ever the same again. She died of pneumonia. She had heart-shaped face, gray eyes, and brown hair that covered. Yes, I suppose in a way, it was murder. I'm a law-abiding man, but it's true, isn't it? I murdered that young man, Arthur Richmond.
What do you mean?
You don't seem to understand. I thought you would. I thought you'd be glad to end this coming. We're all going to die, you know.
General!
Don't talk to me. You don't understand. I want to sit here and wait. Wait for Leslie to come for me.
Oh, I'm frightened. Oh, I'm frightened.
No strangers downstairs. In the study, somebody. I say, you look bad. How about a drink to steady the nerves?
A drink? 200 people in the house at 9 o'clock in the morning. All you can say is have a drink. That old man there is going mad, and you say have a drink? 10 people accused of murder, and that's all that just have a drink. Everything's fine as long as you can have a drink.
All right, stay thirsty.
You are nothing but an adventurer. You make me tired.
I say, you are in a bad way. What's the matter, my sweet?
I'm not your sweet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I rather thought you were.
Well, you can think again.
Okay, I'll go finish and search upstairs.
Unpleasant young man. I can't find that grey owl of mine anywhere. Is anything the matter?
I'm worried about the general. He's really ill, I think.
Are you looking out for the boss-in-law? His sin has found him out.
Don't!
One must face the facts. His wife must have been the most immoral woman. Even so, he had no right to take judgment into his own hands.
What about Beatrice Taylor?
What was that?
I said, what about Beatrice Taylor? That was the name, wasn't it?
Are you referring to that ridiculous accusation against myself?
Yes.
we two are alone. I have no objection to telling you the facts. That girl, Beatrice Taylor, was my housemaid. She seems to be a very nice girl, good manners and clean. But I was very much deceived. In reality, she was a loose girl with no manners at all. Disgusting. I discovered she was in trouble. It was a great shock to me. What happened? Naturally, I refused to keep an unmarried, pregnant girl in my house. I dismissed her.
And did she drown herself?
Yes.
How old was she?
17. Only 17? Quite old enough to know how to behave decently. I told her that she was disgracefully immoral. I told her that when her baby was born, it would be labeled a child of sin, especially as the father would never agree to marry her. I told her I felt contaminated having her in the house.
Did you...
Yes. I broke her down completely.
And did she drown herself?
Yes.
How did you feel after that?
How did I feel?
Yes. Didn't you blame yourself?
Certainly not. I felt perfectly justified. That girl was disgrace to society.
How horrible! You forced her to drown herself!
The heathen are sunk down into the pit that they made. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand.
Breakfast is ready.
The wicked, says the Lord, shall be turned into hell. Be quiet.
Do you know where the gentlemen are, miss? Breakfast is ready.
Solomon Swograve is sitting out there somewhere in the sun. Dr. Armstrong and Mr. Vlor are searching the island. I shouldn't bother about them.
Shall not the isles shake when the wounded cry? The slaughter is made in the midst of thee.
Shall we go into breakfast?
I don't feel like eating.
Breakfast is ready, sir.
Then all the princes of the sea shall come down from the thrones and put off their garments. They shall sit upon the ground and shall tremble at every moment.
Reading aloud, Miss Brent.
It is my custom to read a few words of the Bible every day.
A very good habit, I'm sure.
Did you find anyone?
No, there's nowhere on the island for anyone to hide.
That's right. What about the house, Mr. Lombard?
No one. I've been over the house from attic to cellar. But there's no one here but ourselves.
Breakfast is getting cold.
Breakfast? Come on, boy. You've been crying for breakfast ever since you got up. Let's eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. Or who knows, perhaps today.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Captain Lombard, speaking so light-heartedly.
Come on, General. Breakfast. I say, sir. General.
Good God.
One got left behind. There's a knife in Mackenzie's house.
He's dead. He's dead. But he can't be. You could have done it. There's only us on the island.
Exactly, my dear sir. Don't you realize what a clever and cunning criminal this is? There's only one place where a successful murderer could hide.
One place? Where?
Here! In this room. Mr. Owen, the murderer, is one of us.
I wanted to find Jerome. You are right about what you said this morning. This murderer is one of us. And I know which one.
Really?
There was a case in America. An old couple killed with an axe. Only person who could have done it was their daughter. A married, middle-aged spinster. Unbelievable. She was so respectable and pleasant that no one could believe she was a murderess. She was acquitted. They let her go. But they never found out who the murderer was.
What you mean, I suppose, is that you suspect our murderer here, Mr. Owen, is really Miss Emily Brent.
Miss Brent's quite mad. Frustrated, mad with religion. Reading the Bible aloud like that. I tell you, she's the one. We must watch her.
Really? I thought you suspected Rogers.
Yes, but I have changed my mind. Miss Brent is the only one of us here who's not afraid, because she knows very well she's in no danger.
We've made some coffee. It's cold in here.
Yes, it was such a beautiful day this morning.
Are Captain Lombard and Rogers still out?
Yes, but they won't have any luck. Even if they see our signals over there on the mainland, they won't be able to send a boat out in weather like this.
Miss Brent.
Oh, allow me.
You are right to insist on our having lunch in spite of everything, and drinking some brandy with it. I feel better.
The law courts always take time off for lunch.
But it's a nightmare, this. It can't possibly be true.
We must hold an informal court of inquiry. We may at least be able to eliminate some of the innocent people.
How are you telling Miss Clayton?
Well, I'm sure it isn't any of you three, but if you ask me whom I suspect, I'd say Dr. Armstrong.
Armstrong?
Yes, you see, he had the best chance to kill Mrs. Rogers. Very easy for him, as a doctor, to give her an overdose of sleeping stuff.
But someone else gave her brandy, don't forget.
Her husband had a good opportunity of giving her a drug.
He isn't Rogers. He's not clever enough to organize a horror story like this. He said you can see how terrifying it is.
What did you say?
There's no hope of rescue till this weather clears up. Visibility is down to less than half a mile. Can't see the mainland now. Is that coffee? having a bit coffee this time, instead of a drink.
I greatly admire your heroic self-control in the face of danger.
I'm not an expert on the weather, but I should say that it is most unlikely that a boat could reach us in under 24 hours, even if they could see our signals.
You both got very wet.
He's really here, a good swimmer. Would it be possible to swim to the mainland? Out of the question.
It's over a mile in a rough sea like this. You'd be dashed against the rocks and drowned.
That's right.
Drowned! Drowned in the river.
I beg your pardon, Miss Brent.
She's dreaming.
It's terribly cold in here.
I could stop up the boiler and get the central heating going if you like.
Yes, that would be a good idea. Yes, please do.
Just what we need, Rogers. Excuse me, but does anybody know what's happened to the bathroom curtain?
The bathroom curtain? Are you going mad, Rogers?
No, sir.
The bathroom curtain, has it disappeared?
Yes. It's a bright red curtain. Brand new one. We put it up yesterday. But it's missing, sir. It was there early this morning.
Have anyone seen a bright red bathroom curtain? Sorry, Roger.
It doesn't matter, sir. Only I thought it was a bit strange.
Everything on this island is strange.
I'll just chop a few sticks and get the boiler going.
I wonder if he'd like some hot coffee. He got very wet. Roger? Roger?
What's happened to Armstrong? He's not here.
He went to his room to rest.
Somebody's probably knocked him up by now.
I expect he had the good sense to lock his door.
It won't be so easy for the mother to act now. We are all on our guard.
I advise you not to be too confident, Mr. Glaw. I wish to propose certain safety measures we should take from now on.
Against who?
Against each other. We are all in grave danger. Of the 10 people who came to this island, 3 are definitely innocent. Why? Because they're already dead. That leaves 7 of us. 7 little nigger boys.
One of whom is only pretending to be a little nigger boy?
Exactly.
Well, in spite of what Miss Clayton said just now, I'd say that you, Sir Lawrence, and Dr. Armstrong are both above suspicion. Armstrong is a well-known doctor, and you yourself are famous all over England.
That proves nothing at all, Mr. Glaw. Judges have sometimes gone mad before now. So have doctors. So have policemen.
I agree. Well, does Rogers want some coffee?
No, he's making himself a nice cup of tea. What about Dr. Armstrong? Shall we take him up his cup of coffee?
Oh, I'll take it. I must change up these wet clothes.
Yes, you ought to. You'll catch cold.
I think you'd better let me take it. Dr. Armstrong might not let you into his room. He might be afraid of your gun, Captain.
Ah, yes, that gun. I want a word with you about that.
Oh, do go and change.
What are you going to say, Mr. Blow?
I'd like to know why you brought the gun to this island. It was supposed to be a holiday here, not a dangerous adventure like this.
Life is always dangerous. As I said before, I got into the habit of carrying a gun about with me. It gives me a feeling of safety. Don't you agree with me?
People don't normally carry guns about with them. I want the truth, Captain Lombard.
What a suspicious man you are, Blow.
Are you talking about that gun?
Yes. Listen. I got a letter asking me to be the guest of Mr. and Mrs. Owen. It said there might be some danger, but I'd be quite safe if I kept my eyes open.
So that's why you came for the excitement!
Yes, I was bored. I like excitement. The idea of coming here aroused my curiosity.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yes, quite. Hence my gun.
Oh, do go and change, please.
I'm going, my sweet. I'm going. I appreciate your maternal instincts.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Thomas' story sounds funny to me. Why didn't he tell us last night?
He probably thought the situation was too dangerous.
I don't trust him an inch. Curiosity, my friend.
Let's get out of here! We must leave before it's too late!
One thing we must not do, Dr. Armstrong, is to lose our nerve.
I'm very sorry. My nerves are in a bad state. I can't sleep at night. I keep dreaming of hospitals, surgical operations, somebody holding an knife at my throat.
Real nightmares.
Yes. Don't you ever have dreams, Sir Lawrence? Don't you ever dream you are in court, sentencing an innocent man to death?
Are you referring to Edward Seaton, the man I was accused of murdering? I can assure you I never lose a wink of sleep over the death of Edward Seaton. He was a brutal, cold-blooded murderer. The jury liked him, but I sentenced him to death.
It's cold in here, isn't it?
I wish Rogers would hurry up and get that boiler going.
Yes, where is Rogers? He's have gone been a long time.
He said he was going to chop some sticks.
Sticks? Sticks? Where have I heard that word? My God! Sticks! My God! How many are there now? There should be 4!
There are only 5!
5?
Rogers and Lombard!
Oh no, not Fed!
Rogers! Rogers! Rogers!
What the hell's Paul doing shouting like that? Sounds like...
Have you seen Rogers?
No, I've been upstairs. What's the matter?
2 more niggers have gone!
I thought you'd be...
Well, did you find Rogers?
Yes, in the kitchen.
Is he...
He's dead, all right. Ghastly mess. All over the floor.
How was he killed?
With an axe. Somebody must have behind him while he was lighting the boiler.
What chopped himself in half, and then there was it!
Stop that, Vera! Stop it! She'll be all right. Well, what's next? 6, 5. Bees. Bamboo bees. Do they keep bees on this island? Oh, that's the next verse, isn't it? 6 little nigger boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one. And then there are 5. Yes, there are 5 here. Bumblebee stung one. We all look okay. Nothing wrong with any of us. My God, you don't think... Hypodermic needle.
Oh, the modern bee sting.
Well, she was sitting there. One of us.
One of us.
Which of us?
little nigger boys sitting in a row, watching each other and waiting for the blow. The latest version.
I hardly think this is a suitable moment to make jokes.
Somebody has to relieve this gloomy atmosphere. Damn that electric generator! Things are bad enough already. Without that thing running down and plunging us all into darkness like this. How many candles have we got left?
One packet. About half a dozen.
Those won't last long. We'll soon have to sit in total darkness. What will we do then? Let's play a nice party game. We can invent one called Suspicions. A suspects B, B suspects me, and so on. Let's start with you, Blow. You suspect me, don't you?
I wouldn't say no to that.
You're quite wrong, you know. I don't care for senseless crime like this. If I committed murder, I'd have to have a good reason.
You've acted suspiciously from the start. You've told two different stories. You said you brought a gun here with you, and you say you've lost it.
I have lost it. Somebody has taken it out of the pocket of my other jacket.
It's a likely story.
You mean I've hidden it away somewhere for use later on?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why don't you use your brains, Blow? If I'd wanted to, I could have shot all of you by now. Pop! 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 Pop!
Yes. But that wouldn't fit the rhyme.
We shouldn't just sit here doing nothing. There's something. Surely there's something we can do if we lit a fire at the top of the island.
In this weather?
It is, I'm afraid, a question of time and patience. The weather will eventually clear up. Then we can light a fire or make a signal, flash some sort of light.
Such a time? Time? We can't afford time. We shall all be dead.
I think the safety measures we have taken already will be quite sufficient.
Tell you, we shall all be dead. All but one. You think of some way. He's thinking now.
Why did you kill that patient of yours, Armstrong? What was her name?
Please? Louisa Cleese.
Was it because of her bad nerves or something?
No. Drink. I used to be a heavy drinker. I was drunk when I operated on her. Quite a simple operation. My hand was shaking like a jelly. I can remember her now. Big, heavy, country woman. And I killed her.
So I was right.
After that, I gave up drink. Gave it up altogether. I gave up being a hospital surgeon too. I went in for the study of nervous diseases.
Very successfully.
I was lucky. I got a good result with one or two well-known people. They told everyone what an effective nerve specialist I was. For the last year or two, I was so busy, I wore myself out. I got the top of the tree.
Until Mr. Unknown Knowing came along and ruined everything.
Stop it, gentlemen, please!
We are all in the same boat. We can't afford to quarrel.
That's okay by me. I apologize.
This terrible inactivity that gets on my nerves.
As long as we all remain within sight of each other, it will be impossible for any more tragedies to occur. We have already searched each other. None of us is armed. No one has a gun or knife on them. Nobody has any cyanide or drug. As long as we remain together, nothing can happen.
But we can't go on like this. We shall need food, sleep.
I agree.
Obviously, the only way the murderer can act is to get one of us separated from the rest. we stay together, we are safe.
Safe?
You are very silent, Vera.
There isn't anything to say. I wonder what time it is. Is this awful waiting for the hours to pass by and feeling each one of them may be the last? What is the time?
Almost 10 o'clock.
Storm seems to be dying down a bit, don't you think?
Perhaps. We mustn't be too optimistic.
The mother's been lucky. Even the weather's helping him along with his plans.
What about something to eat?
If you like, I'll go and open a tin of corned beef and make some coffee. But you four stay here. Will that be all right?
Not quite. You see, Miss Claythorne, it may not be advisable for us to eat or drink anything which you prepared out of our sight.
You think I'd poison you? How could I be the murderer? It was a man's voice on the tape recorder.
It would be easy to disguise a woman's voice.
You've always got an answer, Sir Lawrence. If you won't be offended, sir, I'm rather inclined to suspect you.
Captain Lombard, this is hardly the time for anyone to feel offended.
I don't think it's you, Bro. I may be wrong, but I don't think you've got enough imagination for a ghastly game like this thing.
Thank you for nothing.
I don't think it's you, Armstrong. I don't believe you've got the nerve. You've got plenty of nerve, Vera. On the other hand, you don't show the slightest sign of being insane.
Thank you.
I've just thought of something. Oh, wonderful. What? That man says he's a police officer, but we don't have any proof of that. He only said so after we'd heard the tape recorder. Before that, he was pretending to be a man called Davis, a millionaire from South Africa. Perhaps he's not really a police officer either. What do we know about him? Nothing at all.
He's a policeman, all right. Just look at him. Typical.
That's enough from you, Mr. Lombard.
Well, now we know where we are. Miss Claythorne suspects you, Doctor. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, she does. Our little party game is working out perfectly. I suspect Sir Lawrence. Bro suspects me. Armstrong suspects Bro. What do you think, sir?
Quite early today, I came to a certain conclusion. It seemed to me that everything pointed quite unmistakably to one person. I'm still of the same opinion.
Which one of us?
Oh... No. I think it would be better not to mention that person's name at the present time.
Wow. What about my idea that we have something to eat?
Oh, no, let's stay here. We are safe here.
I don't think I'm very hungry.
I'm not starving myself. You go and get something for yourself, Bro.
I tell you what, I'd go and fetch a tin of biscuits.
Oh, good idea. Oh, Bro. Make sure you bring an unopened tin.
Bathroom curtain. Don't you remember? Roger said the bathroom curtain was missing.
Can't imagine why a murderous maniac would need a bright red bathroom curtain.
Things seem to have been disappearing. your gun, and Miss Blank lost her grey knitting wool.
Perhaps the murderer's a thief, too.
How does it go? 5 little nigger boys.
Going in for law, one got in the High Court.
In the High Court? But how could that apply? Unless, of course...
Exactly, my dear young lady. I am a High Court judge. That's why I'm sitting right here. Safely.
That awful rhyme. It keeps going round and round inside my head. I think I remember it till I die.
Mr. Blow's taking a long time with that tin of biscuits.
I expect Mr. Owens bumped him off.
I have asked you once before, Captain Lombard, to restrain your rather peculiar sense of humor.
Ah, I'm sorry. Must be a form of nervousness.
Put your hands up. Search him.
No, thank you.
Come on now. You haven't had any dinner.
I don't think I could eat anything.
I warn you, law will gobble up the whole lot. Then where will it be?
There's no need to be so funny about it. There's no making in starving ourselves. How are we doing for cigarettes?
I don't have any.
I've run out too. Fortunately, I'm a non-smoker.
I've got several packets upstairs in my suitcase. I'll go and get some. I could do with the cigarette myself. See, you all stay where you are.
These biscuits are jolly good.
What kind? Cheese?
Cheese and onion.
That girl ought to have had some.
Now they're in a bad state.
I don't think I agree with you there, Doctor. Miss Claythorne seems to me to be a very cool and controlled young lady. Quite remarkably so.
So that's your idea, is it? You think she's the one behind all this?
Most unlikely, a woman?
You and I, Doctor, see women from slightly different angles.
What do you say? It's a dump for whiskey.
Good idea. So long as we begin a new one. Get lights! Vera!
Miss Clayton!
Observata!
Miss Clayton!
Vera!
Oh my God! Thank God!
Vera! Matches! Vera! I'm looking for them! Vera!
Who's that?
For now. Vera!
Where?
Where are you now? Where are you?
What? Oh! What's that? You got the gun?
Who's shooting?
My God!
Where are you? I've lost you.
Here I am.
Where are the candles? It's awful in the dark. You don't know where anyone is.
Downwind on the stairs. Blew all the candles out. Here, I got the lighter.
I was terrified to death. It went right round my neck.
Angelik, what did?
My bedroom window was open. It blew out the candles as soon as I opened the door. And then a long strand of cold, wet seaweed touched my neck. Somebody had hung it up over the door. In the dark, I thought I was being strangled in a wet head. That's when I screamed.
It shocked us all out of our skins.
Who
Who hung that seaweed up over the door?
I don't know, but when I find out whoever did it will be sorry, I can tell you.
What's that?
It's all right, Miss Clayton, it's only me.
Curious. Who fired that gun?
Who did it? Wait.
It's a judge! He's coat wig and gown.
It's a bathroom curtain. And Miss Brent's grey wool.
I'm good in the High Court, and there's
Here.
You got me out of the room. You made me go upstairs for cigarettes. You put that seaweed there to terrify me. You all did it so that you could not kill the helpless old man in the dark. You are mad. Oh, Sylvie, mad, crazy. That's why you wanted the red curtain from the bathroom. That's why you took Miss Brent's reading room. It was all planned a long time ago for that. Oh, my God. Let me get out of here.
Three little nigger boys sitting in a row, thinking as they eat corned beef. Who's the next to go?
Oh, Philip, stop it.
Don't worry, Miss Clayton. There's no harm making jokes on a full stomach.
Well, I must say I was hungry, but all the same, I don't think I'll ever eat corned beef again.
That was good. Just what I needed. I feel a new man.
It's been almost 24 hours since we had a proper meal.
The steam died down. The sun should be out. Somehow in the daylight, things seem different.
But we mustn't forget that there's a dangerous murderer somewhere on this island.
Yes. But why is it we don't seem frightened anymore?
Because we know now, beyond any doubt, who the murderer is.
That's right.
It was the uncertainty before which set us all on edge, looking at each other.
But now, we know.
Yes. I said all along it was Dr. Armstrong.
So you did, my sweet. So you did, until you went mad last night, accusing us all and rushing out like that.
Now, it's daylight again, I must say. My behavior last night looks rather silly.
Very silly. Quite unbalanced. You went absolutely raving bonkers.
And then Armstrong disappeared. What happened to him, do you think?
It's a bit lighter now. I'll just take another look outside.
How about another cigarette?
Of course.
He was much tired. Hello? What's that? Another of these nigger doors broken.
Must have got broken in all that confusion last night.
No, there are still 5 of them. I clearly remember. I counted them. 5. How many are there now? Are there only 4?
Mr. Bloor, there are only 3.
What?
One shoe. Just one shoe. On the edge of the cliff.
Any sign of Armstrong?
No, it's still too dark to see the blocks at the bottom.
Where?
Just a little way along there, before the steps go down.
There aren't any rocks on this side of the island. The cliff goes sheer down into the sea.
So Dr. Armstrong has committed suicide.
Looks like it.
A man wouldn't leave his shoe like that if he was going to commit suicide. And somebody broke another of these mirror doors and took away the 4th one.
So Armstrong wants us to think he's killed himself?
That's more like it. He wants to make it as look as if he's the 7th victim according to the plan.
Which means that he's still somewhere on this island.
It's awful to think that there are 5 dead bodies in this house, and we've been eating corned beef.
Not 5, dear. 6.
No, but she's right, 5.
What about Mrs. Rogers upstairs?
I've counted her. She's the 5th.
Now, look here. Marston, 1. Mrs. Rogers, 2. General Mackenzie, 3. Rogers, 4. Emily Brent, 5. Sir Lawrence Walgrave, 6.
7, 8, 9. Armstrong 10. That's right, old man. 6, sorry.
Where is Dr. Armstrong?
I suppose it was Armstrong who took a gun.
It must have been.
What exactly happened in the night?
After you had hysterics, rushed out and locked yourself into your room, the rest of us decided to go up to bed.
So we went upstairs and locked our bedroom doors.
About an hour later, I heard someone walk past my door. I came out, and knocked on Bloor's door. He was there all right. Then I went to Armstrong's room. It was empty. I knocked on your door and told you to stay put. Came downstairs and found the window open. My gun was lying on the floor just inside.
But why the devil should Armstrong get rid of that gun like that?
Don't ask me. He's probably quite mad.
Where do you think he is?
Hiding somewhere. Waiting to get one of us.
We ought to search the house.
What? And fall into some trap?
Oh, I never thought of that. What are we going to do from now?
Nothing. Sit tight and take no risks.
Perhaps we ought to go out and look for Armstrong.
I think it's better to stay here. By the way, about that man in the bank robbery, Lando, were you really telling the truth about him?
James Lando? The man I was accused of killing? Well, after everything that's happened here, I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you.
What really happened? Did he rob that bank?
No. James Lando was innocent. The real bank robbers bribed me and got me to tell a few lies. So Lando was convicted and sent to prison.
He got a life sentence and then he died in prison.
That's right.
It's a very different story from what you said before.
I couldn't say all that in front of Mr. Justice Walgrave, could I?
Oh, no, I don't suppose you could.
It was just bad luck that Lando died in prison.
Your bad luck. Because, as a result, you may very soon die yourself.
I'll take care. Look, Lombard, lend me your gun and I go and look for Armstrong.
I won't. It's my gun and I'm going to keep it.
You make me begin to think.
What do you think? That I'm Mr. Unknown Owen, is that it?
It's a strong possibility.
Of course it's not Captain Lombard. The Unknown Owens is Dr. Armstrong.
What makes you so sure?
Think of the rhyme. 4 little nigger boys sailing out to sea. A big fish swallowed one, and then there were 3. Don't you see? He's gone to sea, drowned himself. He's clever.
Clever. But mad!
Utterly mad. He dressed up Wargrave in that red curtain and grey wool. He killed Rogers while he was chopping sticks. He used that hypodermic needle on Miss Brent to make it like a bee sting, to make it all fit in with a rhyme, and now pretending to be drowned, utterly insane.
We must think about the rhyme. What's the next one? 3 little nigger boys going to the zoo. A big bear hugged one. And then there were 2 big bears. Are there any big bears anywhere in this house?
Yes. That big metal clock at the top of the stairs. It's a big bear holding a clock, isn't it?
Is it? Let's go and have a look.
What's that?
Oh, it's a boat! The boat's coming! Ah!
Laws had it, I'm afraid.
How?
You won't believe it. That clock from the top of the stairs, the one we've just been talking about. That blonde bear holding a clock. A trap! Somebody fixed a wire across the balcony out there, with a string tied to that clock. It must have been balanced outside one of the upstairs windows. He tripped over the wire and pulled the bear down on top of him.
Is he dead?
Yes, caught him on the head. Smashed his skull. God, it's ghastly.
That bear, just when we are talking about it.
It's a rhyme. It's so childish, mad.
Now we are 2.
Yes, we 2 will have to be very careful.
We'll never be able to do it. He'll get us. We'll never get away from this island.
Oh, yes, we will. I've never been beaten yet.
Philip, let's get out of this house. Anywhere. That was the boat. He'll get us. He'll be able to see us.
All right. We'll go up to the top of the island and wait for the boat.
Oh, Philip, be careful.
I'm not law. There's no window directly about this one. Hello, what's that? There's something floating in the water down there.
It looks like a body.
Wait here, I'm going to have a look.
Armstrong's body.
It's Armstrong. Drowned. Washed up against the cliff.
So there's no one on this island. No one at all except us two.
Yes, Vera. Now we know where we are.
Now we know where we are.
That was a very clever trick of yours, that wire. The bear clock. Brilliant. Old Wargrave was right. He always said you're a cunning little devil.
What do you mean?
So you did drown that boy Peter, the boy you were looking at.
I didn't. You are wrong. Please believe me. Please listen to me.
I'm listening.
I didn't kill that boy. It was someone else. It was a man. Peter's uncle. I was in love with him. Peter's father and mother were very rich. Then they were killed in a road accident. If Peter had been killed as well, his uncle Hugh would have got all their money.
So your lover, Hugh, was a wicked uncle?
Yes, he was wicked. When we were at the seaside on the beach together, when I got back to get something, Hugh challenged Peter to swim out to a big rock. I told Peter not to swim in deep water, but his uncle made him. But the current was too strong. When I got back, I could see poor little Peter struggling in the water. Hugh tried to stop me saving him, but I got away and swam out after Peter. But I couldn't get there in time. He drowned.
Then what happened?
I never wanted to speak Hugh again after that. There was an inquiry, but it was made out to be an accident. But it wasn't. It was murder. I should have told the truth.
You are certainly not very good at telling the truth.
Don't you believe the truth when you hear it?
Who said that wire trap out there that killed Blow? That was murder. I'm not a saint, but there's one thing I can't stand, and that's murder.
What about those African natives who left to die in the jungle? Wasn't that murder?
No, it wasn't. It was quite another story. What I really did was to risk my life to save the lives of my men. I left my gun with them and all the food we had. Then I went on into the jungle by myself to find help. I was lucky. I got back to the headquarters and organized a search party. But we are too late. By the time we get back to the natives, they are all dead.
Why didn't you tell us all before?
I don't like boasting about my heroic deeds.
You can't fool me with a stupid lie like that.
I'm not lying, damn you!
Why didn't I see it before? It's there, in your face. The face of a murderer!
It's no use pretending any longer, Vera. You devil! You little cunning fox!
If you come one step nearer, I'll shoot.
So, it's you after all. You. Young. Lovely. And yes, now I see it. Quite mad.
It all come true. My plan. My clever plan. My 10 little niggers. Rhyme. My rhyme. Silence in court. If there is any more noise, I shall have the court cleared. It's all right, my dear. It's all right. This is the court of justice. You'll get justice here. You thought that I was dead, didn't you? Huh? You thought I was a ghost. Armstrong said I was dead. That was the clever part of my plan. We planned to pretend that I was dead, so that I could spy on the murderer. Armstrong helped me, but he didn't know who I really was. I arranged to meet him late last night outside, to talk things over. It was so easy. I gave him a little push, and he fell off the edge of the cliff and drowned in the sea. A big fish swallowed one. You know, Vera Claythorne, all my life I've wanted to kill people. Yes, that's right. Kill people. I had to get what pleasure I could out of sentencing guilty criminals to death. I always enjoyed that. It wasn't enough. I wanted more. I wanted to kill. With my own hands. But I am a High Court judge. I've got a sense of justice. Guilty, my lord. Yes. You are all guilty, you know. But the law couldn't touch you. So I had to take the law into my own hands. Into my own hands! Oh, silence in court! Anthony Marston first. Then Mrs. Rogers. Barbiton in the brandy. Lee. Mackenzie next. Stabbed in the back. Rogers in the kitchen. Split his head open with an axe. and then I put a sleeping drug in Emily Brent's coffee so she wouldn't feel the prick of the hypodermic. The bee sting. And then I set the wire trap for Blore. It was easy to get him. Returning that gun was a clever touch, wasn't it? Makes a more exciting finish. I knew that in the end, you two would suspect each other, but I didn't know which of you would win. I hoped it for you, my dear. So it was all so exciting to have a girl at the end. Prisoner at the bar, do you have anything to say? Vera Elizabeth Claythorne, I sentence you to death!
I'm not guilty! I'm not guilty!
Ah, they all say that. You must never plead guilty, unless, of course, you're trying to get a verdict of insanity. But you, my dear girl, you're not mad. I'm mad. You're not.
But I'm innocent! I swear it! I didn't kill that boy!
Didn't you drown him? Didn't you? Didn't you? Oh, very interesting. Very It doesn't matter much now, does it?
What are you going to?
I can't spoil my lovely rhyme. My 10 little nigger boys. You're the last one. One little nigger boy, left all alone. He went and hanged himself. I must have my hanging. 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 My hanging.
It's all right, my sweet. It's all right.
I thought you'd be dead. I thought I had killed you.
You missed. Thank God women can't shoot guns properly.
I shall never forget all this.
Oh, yes, you will. You know, there's another ending to that 10 little nigger rhyme. One little nigger boy, left all alone. He got married, and then there were none.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. We still have one more performance, so please, for the sake of tonight's audience, please don't tell anyone the secret.